Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm really happy to have you here on my channel. So first I want to apologize for not having a video for the past 2 weeks. My sister came 2 weeks ago and we basically just hung out at home and had some awesome sister bonding time. And then last week I wasn't feeling really good. I had a lot of body pain going on and I just wasn't really in the mood to film videos. So this past weekend I was sort of thinking about videos that I could do for this week, and I came across the topic of like things that I struggle with because I feel like I'm in a season where I am getting a little bit more down on myself and I'm feeling a lot of imposter syndrome. And I started thinking, and I'm like, oh, I haven't really talked about things that I struggle with very much, and I don't want this channel to seem like I am a perfect person or that I have everything figured out, because I promise you that is the very last thing that I am. I don't have everything all figured out, and I'm still learning day by day and taking it like as it comes and learning. So I felt like it was really important to talk about things that I personally struggle with, and then maybe some of you guys are also struggling with sort of the same things and maybe you don't know how to deal with it. I'm not saying that I do know how to deal with everything that I'm struggling with, but sometimes it's really nice to feel like there's somebody else who is having the same problems as you, so you know that you don't feel like you're alone. So I'm making this video for you guys so that you know that you're not alone in some of your struggles, but I'm also sort of therapeutically making it for myself, because in my heart I know that I'm not the only person who struggles with these things. So of course I just wanted to share with you all and see what you guys are struggling with, if there's anything, and see what you guys think as well. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. So first things first, this video will be a little bit different, of course, if you weren't already able to tell. Usually I script out a good portion of my videos and have key points and things that I make sure that I want to bring up, but this one I didn't create a script for it at all. I just created points that I want to talk about for things, or points in my life where I'm struggling as a software engineer, and that's mainly because I don't want my struggles to seem scripted or to seem a certain way. So this is going to be more of a chit chat, if you will, even though I know that you guys can't talk back to me face to face. I hope that we can have conversations in the comments. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I have a few notes here, so that's why I'm looking down. The first thing that I want to talk about is wanting to try everything, and this isn't specifically in tech, this is just in life in general. Anybody who knows me or has spent any amount of time with me will be able to tell you I sort of bounce around with everything. I want to try a lot of things and see what I like doing, and even if I don't like doing something, I can still say, oh yeah, I tried it. So I always want to try new frameworks, or I come up with projects that I could do with new languages, and I see tutorials and how people are using different languages, and it inspires me and it makes me want to try them. Now, there's nothing wrong with trying a lot of things, but for me what happens is sometimes it detracts and takes away from what I should be doing. So it's almost like when your mom tells you to go clean your room and you start cleaning and then you find things in your room that you forgot that you even had, and you sort of get off track with what you're supposed to be doing. For me, that's sort of what happens. I currently have a plan of things that I would like to brush up on, learn, certifications that I would like to get, because I am going to be going through a relatively big life change in the upcoming months, and I want to make sure that I'm ready. But when I'm trying these new languages and different frameworks and trying to create these small projects, it sort of takes away from the things that I know that I should be doing. So I have to get a little bit better with saying, okay, yes, you can try this, but you have to do what you're supposed to be doing first. I sort of just go back and forth, and I have to get a little bit better at that. So my next two things sort of go hand in hand, and the first one is striving for perfection. So in my head, of course, I know that I should not strive for perfection, because it is A, mentally draining, and B, it is an impossible task for me to complete. So basically I'm giving myself unrealistic expectations. But the fact that I know in my head that I shouldn't do it, I think that it comes from some past traumas of bad workplaces. So in my previous video where I talked about what it was like to be a Black woman in tech, I talked about my experience with people invalidating my technical experience and the things that I do know simply because I don't look like their version of a software engineer. And of course that's not right, but it's something that does happen in the workplace, and I can tell you firsthand because it happened to me. It started like in the interview process when they're like, okay, why do you actually like tech? And just asking me way more in-depth questions and more personal questions than they would ask their ideal candidate. So me having to explain why I even like technology, all the way down to, well, why did you make this specific design choice in your code? And that by itself is a valid question, but what's not valid is telling me that you don't like that choice, but you have no constructive criticism to provide. So people were saying, I don't like how you did that. And that's it. Like nothing else. Not, you should do it this way, or I would prefer that you did it this way. Just, I don't like it. I experienced people taking credit for my work, and when other people took credit for my work, all of a sudden it was nice and it was exactly what they wanted. But when it was coming from me, it was a problem. So me striving for this unrealistic expectation of being perfect stems from me feeling like I constantly need to prove myself. So this is something that I work on every single day, and it is a lot of times me telling myself, yes, the work that you're doing is good, making sure that I am completing my tasks to the best of my ability, because that's all that I can do. If somebody provides constructive criticism, I am more than happy to take a look at things again and discuss things again, but I can't have a conversation with a brick wall. And sometimes I feel like if people are going to invalidate what I'm doing just because of what I look like, you can't reason with that. Their heart is already hardened, and a lot of times it doesn't matter what I'm going to say, it's not going to change what they already feel. So yeah, that's something that that was a lot, but that's something that I've definitely been working on. And then for my last one, I would say that I am working on balance. So this has been coming up more recently because I'm currently working on a product that has a release coming up soon. And a lot of times, even though I've been working from home for like 15-ish weeks now, I definitely feel like I work for longer stretches. So when I was working physically in the office, you know, you go in around like maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, depending on what day it is. Typically I would work until maybe 5:30, and then I was easily able to separate work from home. Now, since I am working at home and my husband is around a lot, it is harder for me to make that physical separation. So sometimes what I find myself doing, and I know this is bad and I'm working on it, if I get bored or I just like need something to do, I work on work because I know that I have a deadline and I know that it would be nice to get ahead in a little bit of my work. Or if I am having a little bit of trouble with something and I've been trying to figure it out for a while, I might step away from it and say, okay, I'm gonna let it rest for the night. But if I can't stop thinking about it at like maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I'll pick it back up again and continue working. This is super bad because it leads to burnout, and I know that, which is why I'm trying to stop. But it's just in general not healthy to work on your work for like 24 hours a day. So this is something that my husband is like helping me out with every now and again, just like making sure that I put my computer down, making sure that we go do something fun, whether it's, usually for us, it's playing video games in the evening, which in turn like makes me tired, and then going to bed at a good time. And I talk to my family and my sister and my mom and dad a lot, so that helps a lot too, especially since we're sort of all everywhere. And I can't really go out to do too much now. I know that like some places are like starting to open back up again, but I personally don't feel comfortable really going out Like, I go up for walks and go get some fresh air, but I won't be like going back to a mall or anything, or like a restaurant anytime soon. I'll just be chilling out here and figuring out how I can make home more fun. So yeah, I hope this video wasn't too long. I had to cut a few different parts because I figured out that I was rambling, but I hope that this video helps you out a little bit and lets you know that you're not alone if you're struggling with something sort of similar to what I'm struggling with. I would love to know what you guys are personally struggling with, whether you're struggling with learning to code or things that you're struggling with at work, or whether it's tech related or non-tech related. I would love to help out in any way that I can, even if helping out is just leaving a comment and we can chat back and forth and talk about it, because a lot of times talking about it really does help. So thank you guys so very much for watching this video. I look forward to talking with you guys. I think that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's it. Yeah. So if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.